Good evening, everybody. Okay, so before we start the Lamrim class, first we do short the breathing meditation in order to make a space for Dharma in your mind. And also some of you just come from your workplace, someone come from your house, someone come from, like shopping center. That's why physically you are here, mentally you are not really here. So therefore, everybody fully focus on your breath, in and out. Do meditation in order to be calm your mind, in order to have a peaceful mind. Okay, so I hope your mind become a bit calm and peaceful. So each time when we have a Dharma class, each time when you do Dharma practice, please make sure you remember the purpose of study and practice of Dharma. So we practice and study Dharma not for becoming knowledgeable about Dharma, not for have a only happy life, not only for liberation, the only for becoming Buddha. So all your practices, all your Dharma activities, all your good actions, everything try to be cause to become Buddha, to benefit all sentient beings. In order to become Buddha, we have to eliminate all the defiled minds, include ignorance. Therefore, again, all the practices, all the actions, all the Dharma activities, all your energy put into practice to eliminate, to reduce, to minimize all the defiled minds, mainly attachment and anger. Among the negative thoughts, attachment is one of the difficult to reduce, difficult to control. Also, you cause to arise other negative thoughts. Anger also one of the worst negative thoughts to produce, to create problem and suffering individually, also in the society level is make a lot of problem and suffering. Therefore, we need to reduce attachment and anger. Not only that, in order to become a Buddha, so we have to go through step by steps. Step number one, so we already had study, which is practice of compassion. So when you're able to practice compassion, then you have, the good, the most important condition to cultivate bodhicitta. Without compassion, you cannot cultivate great compassion. Without great compassion, you cannot cultivate bodhicitta. Without bodhicitta, doesn't matter how long you meditate on emptiness, the best on realizing emptiness, you never become Buddha. Therefore, we need to practice great compassion, compassion as the root of the Buddhahood. Then emptiness. Then reduce all the negative thoughts. Also importantly, so for becoming Buddha, it is not easy, it is not achieved, very fastly, very swiftly. It takes long times, it takes few eons. Therefore, we have to prepare to take the good rebirth, good life continuously until we become a Buddha. Therefore, first, right now we are very fortunate because we are human being. We have all the sensory faculties. Not only that, we have all the good condition to study, practice Dharma. If we're not born again as a human in the next life, if we're born as other beings like animal, there won't be any opportunity to listen the Dharma, to study Dharma, to practice Dharma. Then continuously we will, born again and again in the animal realms, hungry realm, hungry ghost realm, hell beings. Then there is no such as hope to achieve Buddhahood. Therefore, as a basis, as a foundation, we must practice the morality. Be moral person, be honesty. If you have taken, the layperson vows, the navil vows, any other, Bodhisattva vows, please, maintain the vows very purely. Then you have the good condition to born continuously in the higher realms, particularly human realms. Just born in human is not enough condition to practice Dharma. We must have the external facility, which is food, clothes, shelter, so and so. In order to have this, then we need to practice the generosity. With the morality, practice of generosity, then you will born as a good human with good facilities. But if you are very, ugly person, if you are missing, importance, faculties, important feature in your body, then you cannot be, look nice person. Then there's also, difficult to study, practice Dharma. Therefore, number 3, you need to practice patience. The patience is the most important cause to born as a attractive or beautiful, the nice person. Therefore, first, morality. Second is generosity. Third is patience. So those are, the basic condition to study, practice Dharma for becoming Buddha. And in the past, we study the quality of the teachers, the quality of the students, how the teacher must lead the students, how the student follow the teachers, how the student rely upon the teacher. Then rely through the mind, they rely through physical or service. So when you have the qualified teacher, when you accept he or she is your guru, then you always have a good relationship, good connection with the guru. So you have a very strong, solid mind, rely upon the teachers. Then how to rely on the teacher through mentally, then like kind of physically. Then then at the end, so what should we do? After you have the perfect teacher, the teacher is very perfect, you also the perfect students, perfect disciple, then what we should do? So many times, you can see someone is just happy as a disciple, you are just happy with having the qualified teachers. But sometimes the teacher also just happy to have a disciple, qualified disciple. But the teacher never tried to teach Dharma to the students. Also the student, not trying to practice Dharma. They just have a good relation, good connection, being as a teacher and student. This is not enough for becoming Buddha. The next, then you need to practice the Dharma. Therefore, how we should practice? In order to practice Dharma, we need a place to practice Dharma. In the ancient time, many practitioners goes into forest, mountain, very isolated place, then practice Dharma continuously. In the modern time, it's so difficult to have the the very isolated place to practice Dharma, because wherever you go, you can see, people around there. Particularly being a Singaporean, you won't have, very solitary place to practice Dharma. Therefore, wherever you live, you use the place to practice Dharma. Therefore, you must remember the preparation. There are 6 types of preparation. So after you fully prepare the place, then you need to practice the 7 limb practices. Among the 7 limbs, the most important practice are purification and accumulations. All 7 limb practices include into 3 practice. Practice for purification, practice for accumulation, practice for multiplying. So without having good merit, and you cannot do good practice. Without preferring negative karma, also you cannot practice dharma well, because the negative karma always cause to make an obstacle in your practice. Then, yes, then you prepare the place to practice dharma. You always practice the seven limb practices. Those are the not the main practice. Next, so you really need to enter in the real dharma practice. Therefore, we do the short revision from the book number 1. So place, or actually what I thought about the place where we live. Look, in the ancient time, when you go out from your house, people feel very upset. People feel very unhappy, right? Nowadays, when we go out from house, we feel very happy. When we come back, when we return home, we feel very upset, we feel very unhappy. Why? Why? Look at the house. Is a small house or a big house, very big house. It doesn't matter the size of the house. The most important, the house, the place where you live, it must be very happy and a peaceful house. In order to have a happy house, in order to become the house is very happy house, peaceful house, it is very much depend the people who live in this house, right? This house. Therefore, even though you are living one person, then you are quite happy to come back your house. If you're living with the 3, 4, 5 people, so when you come back, you feel bit unhappy, because you remember, your the people who live with you. Therefore, you must have always try to have a healthy, relationship. Your parents, your brothers, your sister, your friends, whoever live with you. How we can have the healthy, relationship or healthy connection each other. The first, both must have a very pure heart. Sense of respect each other, try to understand each other more deeper level. Then automatically you have a good relationship, good connection. Then you have the relation become very healthy. Then the house where you live is become very happy house. Therefore, in the ancient time when people go out, people feel very upset, very unhappy. When they come back house, they feel so happy. Then actually, look at the modern time is a looks very complicated time. So when you go out for a party, right, for what do you call, let's say party, right, go one day party outside, go in the park, go next to the beach, then people sing and dance. House, you never sing and dance. Why? Actually, you must be very happy in your house. You sing a song, you dance, you just be happy, right? So when you go out, you are very happy, you make a sing song, you dance. Why not in house? Why not? Because we feel, if I sing song, other people become very unhappy. I disturb those people. Somebody sing song, you feel very, unhappy, they disturb me. We have this kind of concept. Is good or bad, I don't know, but it's very strange. Okay, now what should we do after, prepare the place you meditate. Then you remember you need to do the meditation, right? Meditation. Do you remember meditation? So when you do meditation, yes, the sitting posture is important, but not that important. So it's most important you sit very comfortably. So after you sit it comfortably, then you need to start to do meditation. So when you meditate, you need an object, you need a thing to meditate on it, right? You need an object to meditate. I said many times, many people always try to meditate on your breath. This is the pre-practice to do the actual meditation. So because actual meditation we do in order to, control our minds, in order to control our negative thoughts. If you only meditate on your breath, you cannot control any, none of the negative thoughts. Therefore, after you have a quite good experience about meditating on breath, then you need to choose an object to meditate. Then, so the first you have to be good in meditation. Therefore, you must choose one object, right? Let's say everybody choose the Buddha as a meditation object, Buddha. Then when we meditate on the Buddha, so mainly we meditate on the Buddha in image, pictures, painting, statue. At the beginning, you really need to determine, finalize the size. Let's say I want to meditate, just 1 feet or 2 feet the Buddha statue, then always keep the same size, the same color, the same features. Should not change, should not add, should not minimize. Keep same object, same size all the time until you have, the stable mind, right? Stable mind. So when you do meditation, you should not change your meditation object very often. Should not change at all. Just meditate on one object. So when you do meditation, there's always 2 obstacles. What are they? Laxity and excitement. The laxity means, first you able to focus very clearly the object of meditation. You're able to see the Buddha, the image of the Buddha very clearly. You can see the Buddha very clearly. Also, very focusfully, then slowly the focus become very loose. That means your mind already influenced by laxity. Again, at the beginning, you're able to focus on the Buddha very clearly, focusfully. Then suddenly your mind remembers something else. Then your mind already influenced by excitement. Your mind has jumped somewhere. So you should not have this. Then here we mainly talking about, contemplate about your guru, because the root guru is the root of the all good qualities. Therefore, at the beginning, you must have a very pure, firmly, faith towards your guru. Therefore, like 4 seasons, you contemplate, the benefit of relying on the teacher. Then the disadvantage, not rely on the teacher. So when you do meditation on your guru, sometime you can remember, the faults and problems, you should not look from the negative side. You always look from the positive side. You should not look through the bad quality. You always look from the good quality. Try to have a, pure faith, pure kind of devotion towards your guru. Then also it is not enough. You have to move furthermore. Then, so actual practice here, meditation season, then so at every season, at the end, what you should do, you can do recitation, chanting. Mainly you do study about what you have meditated in the previous time. Then so you remember what to do at the conclusion. Do the dedication practice, dedication prayers. Then what to do in between meditation season. Then in general, there are many things to be done between meditation season, such as obeisance, circumambulations, recitation, prayers. But the most importantly, principally, thing to do in the context as follow. After you have made an effort to meditate in the actual season and at the point of the ending season, if you may not continue to rely on the mindfulness and vigilance and may instead completely let go of what should be sustained, the object of meditation and its objective aspect, if you do so, your progress will be extremely small. For example, in the morning you meditate on Buddha, right? Buddha. And so during the, like a tea break or during the breakfast, lunch, dinner time, you must remember continuously the Buddha. Also you read, books about the Buddha's qualities. So during the break time, you totally forgot your meditation, then you won't have a progress. Then there's a few things. Acting with the vigilance. So whatever you do with the vigilance, do with the mindfulness. Then you try to establish the good foundation for the meditation. So now today we mainly start from the chapter number 7. This is the short revision. Number 1, an exhortation to take full advantage of a life of leisure and opportunity. So this is the teacher asks you to take full advantage of life of leisure and opportunity. Right. So now you have a teacher. Now teacher really teaching you how to become a Buddha, how to fully liberate from suffering. Therefore, exhortation to take full advantage of the leisure and life of leisure and opportunity. Then number 2, how to take full advantage of the life of leisure and opportunity. So here when we talk about the taking full advantage of the life of leisure opportunity is explained in terms of the 3 aspects. Number 1, question number 1, identifying leisure and opportunity. 2. Contemplating its great importance. 3. No, first, so how we can take advantage the life of leisure and opportunity. The number one, you must first you identify the leisure and opportunity. Then number two, when you identify it, then you must contemplate what? The great importance, very important, great importance. And number three, contemplating the difficulty of attaining. For example, when you have a very expensive and very rare, like a diamond, you must identify this is a very important, this is a diamond. Identify. Not only just identify, you must know the great importance. I have this, diamond, is very rare, very expensive. If I sell it, I can make a lot of money. Right? That means importance. The human life of leisure and opportunity is very important. Then it is important. It doesn't mean, you can have it very often. You can have every time. No. Contemplating the difficulty of attaining. Right? Now everybody must identify the life of leisure and opportunity. Right? Yeah, right? It's okay, it's okay. What?
They say it's very...
It look like it's not... No, it's off look like. You can see only one light. No, one light, right? Yeah. Okay. No, it's okay. No, it should not be serious. Hello, everybody. How we can take full advantage of the life of leisure and opportunity? First, identifying leisure and opportunity. Right? You must identify, I am very lucky to have this human life, which is very leisure and very opportunity. Then, also you must remember, it is very important, it's a very great importance. Not only that, number three, what you need to remember? Difficulty of attaining it. That means, yes, we must remember, identify the leisure of life and leisure opportunity. Then remember it's a great importance. Also remember it is so difficult to attain. So what are the leisure and opportunity? Yes, sir? Identification of leisure and opportunity. The sentence, please read the sentence. Through ethical discipline, you eliminate the 8 conditions that lack leisure and many circumstances in the life of animal. Through it, you always attain the leisure. That means how many types, how many numbers in the leisure of life? 8 conditions. What are they? The next sentence, friendly letter. To be born with the wrong views or without conquer words. Then, animals, hungry ghosts, person in border region. Then, mute person. deity of long life. And that means there's a totally 8. Number 1, wrong view. Number 2, without conquer words. Number 3, animal. Number 4, hungry ghost. Number 5, hell being. Number 6, person in border regions. Number 6, mute person. Number 7, deity of long life. Number 8,
Already 8.
no,
Yes. Wrong review. Without conqueror word. Animal, hungry ghost, hell, uncultured person, stupid and mute, and deity of long life. 8.
8. So please remember, everybody remember the 8 conditions. The opposite is the right view with the concourse teachings. Then not being in animals, not born in hungry ghosts, not being in hell being, then not born in the barbarian place, border region, not born as a stupid or mute person, not born as the deity of long life. So you must do homework as the 8 condition. So what are the 10 opportunity? 119. Okay, being human, being born in central region, complete sensory faculty, karma, source. This is the 5 aspects of opportunity that pertain to yourself. That means there are 5. Another 5, the 5 aspects of opportunity that pertain to others. 120. The Buddha has visited. The sublime teaching is being taught. The teaching remain. Then follow it. Then caring for others. Those are the 5 aspects of opportunity that pertain to others. That means 8 conditions of the leisure, the 10 aspects of the opportunities. So we have all the 8 good condition. Also we have the 10 aspects, right? So now I think everybody just, I imagine everybody able to identify the life and leisure of the 10 good, 8 good conditions, 10 aspects of things. Then why it is so important? Why it is great important, the human life? Why it is so important? Yes. For achieving lasting happiness means for achieving Buddhahood. Because this life is very important, okay? So this life can determine whether you go into continuously go into samsara, or you will free from samsara. Clear? So it is so important. We should not really waste this life with a meaningless thing. It is not, just saying, if you believe in next life, in the next life you born as other beings, hungry ghosts, animal, whatever, then there's no any chance to study, practice Dharma. Right? If you seriously use this opportunity, this leisure life, then you already begin to free from suffering, free from samsara. You already start to achieve Buddhahood. Right? Therefore, it is very important. If we lose this advantage, if we lose, this opportunity, then we lose the opportunity forever. Therefore, when we have a, little free time, do Dharma practice. When you have a little free time, then you study Dharma. Daily try to, escape from the samsara, try to achieve the Buddhahood. So, actually all practitioner, we can divide into 3 groups, 3 categories. Very simple Dharma practitioner. Then the medium types of Dharma practitioner. Then the great types of Dharma practitioner. 3 types. The small one, the very small, the simple Dharma practitioner, if you able to be, very simple, very ordinary Dharma practitioner, the moment of the death, you should not have a sense of fear. Right? Sense of fear. That means because you have done a lot of good things, or you have done very little bad things. That's when you are okay, to die. After you die, after you dead, then what? You will become again good human. You will become again, you born in the higher realms. Then you don't have a sense of fear. Then, Chiwala, Minji, Ding Chiwale. Yeah. Then, if you become kind of medium type of Dharma practitioner, then you don't have any worry about continuously going into, lower realms. Because you have done a lot of good Dharma practice, then continuously you go into the higher realms. The best Dharma practitioner, the great Dharma practitioner, able to escape from the death. That means they are able to achieve liberation. Now, we've been as a Dharma practitioner, let's say tonight, everybody going to die. Do we feel very scared about dying? No? Really? Why? You're okay? Very good. Very good. Why not? Because you have a confidence. I have done good things. I have done very little bad things. I'm okay. After I death, I can have a good life. Right? Therefore, it is so, so when we study Dharma, when you study Dharma, we should not study Dharma as a story or history. We study Dharma as a very important matter. Therefore, please remember, I am very lucky to have this life, which is totally leisure and opportunity. I use the leisure opportunity life able to escape from the samsara, able to achieve the liberation. Look at, in this life, if you really able to start to achieve liberation, then continuously you will, step by step, you will achieve liberation. If you're not able to start to achieve liberation, then, in this life, if you're not able to do Dharma practice, the next life we never know. If you're born as a human, then there's no sure you can practice Dharma again and again. If you're born as another beings, animals, now you can see. Since you're born as an animal, they continuously born again animal, hungry goes in hell, because you don't have opportunity to accumulate merit. You won't have opportunity to practice Dharma. Therefore, you must know it is so important. It's a great, importance. Great importance. Then can we have this life, this kind of life, again and again? Can we? Can we or cannot? Is the answer come individually? We cannot say you can, you cannot. You must remember yourself. You must recognize yourself. Because in order to achieve this kind of life, which has a eight condition, the eight opportunity and the leisure, it has a great important condition. Number one, practice ethical very purely. Second, practice the generosity proper way. Third, practice patience. So, when we try to practice Dharma, we cannot practice Dharma very purely. Also, our ethical discipline is very broken. It has, some branches there, some branches missing. Therefore, in the future, if we think our daily activities, daily action, physical, verbal, or mental action, the most time we accumulate negative karma. Therefore, it is so difficult to have, this kind of life again and again. So this is kind of, revision from the book number 1. The book number 2, in the past, we study the importance. Compassion is very important at the beginning, middle, at the end, right? Great compassion. So must remember all the Mahayana practices, motivated by what? Great compassion. No compassion, no great compassion. No great compassion, no bodhicitta. No bodhicitta, no Mahayana paths. So, great compassion is very important from the beginning, important in the middle, important in the end. Therefore, we need to practice great compassion. Then there's an answer, when you practice, if you're able to accomplish great compassion, then why you need to practice number 6? Altruism, they use another words. Yeah, altruism, right? Why you need to practice altruism? Because you already practice great compassion, then you wish to become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings, right? No, because when you have a great compassion, you wishing all sentient beings free from suffering. But you are not taking the responsibility. Therefore, just not wishing plus I will take. I will free all sentient beings from suffering. I will provide all the condition for happiness. That means you are taking responsibility. Then next, you will practice bodhicitta, right? Now, chapter number 3. The gradual training has 3 sections. What's number 1? To be intent on the other welfare. Don't forget this number 1, training the mind to be intent on other welfare. Number 2, mind to be intent on enlightenment. In order to accomplish bodhicitta, you need to think other welfare. Also, you need to think achieving enlightenment. If you're just thinking, benefit for others, this is a great mind, it cannot be bodhicitta, right? If you're only thinking achieving enlightenment, the mind is very good, but it cannot be bodhicitta. The bodhicitta always need to focus to achievement. What are they? Achievement for others, your own achievement. Therefore, look at training the mind to be intent on other welfare. Number 2, intent on enlightenment. Now you must remember the sequence. When you see sentient beings, you realize all sentient beings are suffering. Then you wish them free from suffering. You wish to give a lot of welfare. How you can give welfare for others? After you become Buddha, then you can give a lot of welfares, lot of benefit for others. Then number 3, enlightenment, the feature of the training, right? When you are able to remember the two attainments, attainment for others, attainment for your own benefits, then you will be able to practice bodhicitta. Now we just go straightly number 1, page number 36. Number 1, establishing the basis of development, the altitudes. Right? That means we need to develop bodhicitta. Therefore, we need a basis, clear basis. Then number 2, on others. Now we just simply study about the basis. Yeah, achieving impartiality towards living beings. Right? So now you must remember the sequence. Becoming Buddha depends on the bodhicitta. Bodhicitta depends on the great compassion. In order to practice great compassion, it depends on achieving impartiality towards living beings. Remember the orders. So when somebody said, please practice, cultivate bodhicitta, then you just think, I wish, to benefit all sentient beings. Therefore, I want to be Buddha. Right? I want to be Buddha. How you can be Buddha? If I achieve, if I able to practice bodhicitta, then I can be Buddha. How you can practice bodhicitta? If I able to practice great compassion, then I can practice bodhicitta. How you can practice great compassion? If I able to practice impartiality towards living beings. So the impartiality towards living being is the basis, is a foundation. Foundation for what? Foundation to develop great compassion. Great compassion becomes foundation to develop altruism. Altruism becomes foundation to develop bodhicitta. Bodhicitta becomes the most important cause to achieve Buddhahood. Right? Now, impartiality. I have previously explained the stage of the preliminary practice and so forth in the context of the person of small and medium capacity. Practice 3 preliminary practices has the here as well as then sustain your meditations. That means in the small scope, the middle scope part, explain, need to practice dharma, practice some impermanence, so and so. Everything you must bring and practice here. Next, from the outside, establish an even-minded attitude, eliminating the bias which come from attachment to some living beings and hostility to others, right? So in order to establish the impartiality, you need to eliminate what? Attachment and hostility. Attachment towards your friends or your close one, hostility towards your disliked person or enemy. Otherwise, any love or compassion you feel will be biased. You will never feel unbiased love or compassion. So cultivate impartiality, right? So first you need to practice impartiality because in order to practice bodhicitta, I need to practice great compassion. If I have a partiality towards your friends or your enemy, then your compassion become bias. Right? Bias. So the impartiality, the partiality minds come from where? Attachment and hostility. Because look at generally, let's say you have a, in your family, you are only 3 persons. You, your brother, and your sister. So you are in the center, right? You have only 3 members in your house, your brother, your sister, and you. So you are in the sister. If you have sense of really like your sister, if you have a sense of dislike to your brother, then your life become partial. You only love your sister, not your brothers. Right? Brothers. In order to equal the mind, you have to look, 2 of them equally. So the love, the love become very partial because of the attachment, because of the hatred. Therefore, you need to eliminate the attachment towards your close one and hostility towards the distant one. Otherwise, please remember, otherwise, any love or compassion you feel will be biased. You will never feel unbiased love or compassion. If you have a biased love and compassion, the love and compassion never be great compassion, right? Unbiased. Then, so you need to cultivate the impartiality. There are 3 kinds of impartiality. What's the number 1? Okay, please, it is not just enough to read, you must remember. Number 1, equanimity with the respect or application. Number 2, partiality. Number 3, impartiality. So remember the 3 types of impartiality. In this section, impartiality referred to the last one, which is immeasurable impartiality. Next, immeasurable partiality is said to have 2 types. This is very important. 2 types. What are they? And number 2, hostility towards living being. In this section, impartiality refers to the latter. Right? Now, look at immeasurable impartiality has 2 types. Number 1, wishing, just wishing, right? All wishing that living being were free from affliction and attachment and hostility. Right? Afflictions as attachment and hostility. This means you just wish all sentient being free from attachment, all sentient being free from hostility. This is one concept of impartiality. Because you equally looking all sentient being free from attachment, free from hostility. You never, make a partial. Right? What's the second meaning? Second, being even-minded yourself after you have become free from attachment or hostility towards living being. It is not. You are talking about, yes. When you look at sentient beings, you shouldn't have a sense of closeness towards someone, sense of distance towards someone. That means you have a same sense of compassion everybody. And you should not have a sense of attachment towards your close one. You should not have a sense of hostility towards your disliked person or your enemy. You're talking from your side. Right? Here's the latter one. Now, how we can practice the impartiality? The steps for cultivating immeasurable impartiality are follows. Since you can easily be impartial towards person towards whom you have natural feeling, first take as the object of your meditation such as a person. First, whom you should take object of your meditation? Whom? Neutral person. Let's say suddenly someone appear here, whether he or she is our friends or enemy. So when someone come in between, we don't have a sense of attachment, we don't have a sense of hostility. We have a very neutral. First, you just focus on them, just how to have attachment, you cannot, right? Cannot. How to have a hostility, anger, you cannot. Because why we cannot have a attachment to the person? Because we didn't know anything the person. Right? We don't have a sense of hostility. Also, we don't know anything about the person. We never feel the person is very close to us. We never felt the person is very, distant with us. Therefore, impartiality. Then second, what are the second steps? Once you have attained this, when you have a pure impartiality minds for the neutral person, then cultivate towards your friend. No, bit difficult, right? When you see the neutral person, you don't have a sense of attachment, you don't have a sense of hostility. Suddenly, your friend come here. And you have a sense of attachment. Suddenly, your enemy come here. You have a sense of hostility. You can see now. You need to eliminate sense of attachment towards your friend, your best friend. Therefore, second, you must change the object of meditation to cultivate the impartiality. Take your friend as an object. Then cultivate even-mindedness towards a friend. Your lack of even-mindedness towards this friend either become your degree of your attachment for him or her, or because of the basis from your attachment and hostility. After you have a very pure impartiality minds towards your friend, then third, you need to meditate on what? You need to cultivate impartiality towards your enemy. Then, when you see your neutral person, you have a same feeling. When you see your friend, you have a same feeling. You don't have a sense of strong attachment. When you see your enemy, you don't have a sense of hostility. That means totally you eliminate the attachment and hostility. Then you got the good basis to cultivate compassion. Now here's a question, right? Question, well then, what meditation eliminates attachment and hostility towards these 3%? That means how I can eliminate attachment towards your friend, best friend. How you can eliminate the hostility towards your enemy, how we can eliminate. Then here, number one, there's a two approaches. Number one, as follow, there's a two kinds of practices. One, from living being viewpoints. Number two, from is outside. Make sure so you fully understood the meaning. So, look at, when we see our friends, we have a sense of attachment. When we see our enemy, we have a sense of hostility. So without eliminate these two minds, we cannot generate compassion. So what kind of practice we must do in order to eliminate attachment anger? From living being viewpoint, all equally want happiness, do not want suffering. Therefore, it is inappropriate to hold some close and to have them while keeping others as a distant and harm or not helping them. That means, when you look at your friend wants happiness, doesn't want suffering. When you look at your enemy, he or she also wants happiness, doesn't want suffering. That means when you look at it from their point of view, they are very equal to be happy, equal to be wanted to be happiness, wanted to be happy, equal to be doesn't want to be suffer. Right? Let's say you have a piece of bread. You have just one piece of bread. You saw two beggars. Both of them is very hungry. Then when you give the bread, you must share equally. There's no reason, big piece give to others, small piece give to another one. You have to share equally because both of them is beggar. They are equally hungry. When you see two beggars, one is very full, one is very hungry, then you should not give the bread to the beggar who are very full. There's no point. Now, when you look at sentient beings, between your friends and enemy, your friend wants happiness, also enemy wants happiness. Enemy also doesn't want suffering, also your friend doesn't want suffering. They are equal. From their point of view, they are very equal. So you should not discriminate. This is my friend, have an attachment. This is my enemy, have a hostility. No, look at equal. Then, second, contemplating as follows from my point of view. If I have constantly been reborn since beginning this time, all beings have been my friends hundreds of times, to whom should be attached, to whom should I be hostile? Right? Let me now look at. Suddenly you made a 2%. No, you know 2%. One is being your friend for a long time, being your friend. Other one, you think the person is not your friend. Then later you notice, oh, he or she was my like a classmate 20 years ago. Oh, he or she was my roommate. They are good friends. When you realize that the stranger is used to be your best friend, then you have a equal love towards your new friends and your old friends, right? Because both of them you are friend, they are same friend. Therefore, when you look at your friends, you have a sense of attachment because you like, because he or she have you. When you look at your enemy, you have a hostility because he or she harm you, right? But from your point of view, when you look at the two group of beings, both of them equally used to be your mother. Therefore, from the sentient being point of view, we must look equally. From your point of view, we must look equally. Should not have a sense of attachment towards your close one, should not have a sense of hostility towards your enemies. Therefore, these two practices eliminates the attachment towards your friends and hostility towards your enemy. Then furthermore, with regard to the attachment to your close friend, it's a very common. All sentient beings, even though cow, dog, fish, they have their favorite, friends. Even though you can see, when you see, a bunch of dogs live together, but within the group, there's a friends and animal, friends and enemy. It's natural. Then, as a human being, yes, you are being close to someone, you are being distant with someone, right? Someone. Then we have an attachment towards your friends. Then it's showing there's no point to have an attachment towards your friend. Please read the next sentence. From formerly kill of you, and you have and me. All of us have been mutually imminent, kill one another. How could you be attached? Right? That means, yes, this moment you have me, that's why I have attached to you. In the past, you kill me, therefore there's no point to have attachment. Right? So use this logic and reasoning just eliminate, purify the attachment towards your friends. Friends. That means mainly looking from the sentient being point of view, looking from your point of view, first you eliminate attachment and hostility, particularly contemplating, I have killed all of you and you have slashed and this member me, this logic use and reduce attachment towards your closeness one. Then, according with there's one thought. Oh, here, the next sentence is very important. In this context, your contemplation requires you to make the distinction between what? An enemy, right? So in order to contemplation, in order to eliminate attachment desire, you must have two group of people, two persons. One is your friend, one is your enemy. Otherwise, you cannot do, the meditation. Therefore, it's good. Your contemplation requires you to make this distinction between friends and enemy. Look at, it is not the notion of friend or enemy that you need to stop. No need to stop, okay? It is not the notion of friend or enemy that you need to stop. But the bias come from attachments and hostility, which are basis on the reason that some people are your friends and others are your enemy. So you need to eliminate the attachment and hostility. You need to stop. But you should not stop the notion. the concept of friends and enemy. They are enemy, they are friends. You should not say everybody is my friend. It cannot be. Yes, you must identify this person is my friend, this person is my enemy. My enemy always harm me, my friends always help me. But using the helpful, having attachment is wrong. Using the harmful and having hostility is wrong. We should not say, I don't have an enemy, I don't have a friends. No friends, then cannot no enemy. No enemy, no friends. Right? Therefore, you need to stop attachment towards your friend, hostility to your enemy, but you must have a concept, friends and enemy. But then you can see, yeah, this is my enemy, this is my friend. Then you can look equally. Right? So this is very important. You don't forget. Many people think, oh, after I practice great compassion, then there's no enemy, no friends. Does it make sense? Right? Look at here. This context, your contemplation requires you to make the distinction between friend and enemy. It is not the notion of friend or enemy that you need to stop, but the bias come. The bias means when you look at your friend, you have a sense of love and sense of compassion. When you look at your enemy, you don't have a love and compassion, you have a hostility. This bias comes from attachment and hostility, which are the basis on the reason that some people are your friends and others your enemies. Now, having affection for all living beings. Now, when you have a impartiality toward all sentient beings, then you will have affection for all living beings. Right now, when you look at your friends, your relatives, you have affections, right? When you look at your enemy, you don't have a affection. You have a hostility. Therefore, please remember the orders, okay? Achieving Buddha depends on bodhicitta. Bodhicitta depends on great compassion. Great compassion depends on the unbiased compassion. Unbiased compassion depends on the practice of impartiality. So there are 3 steps. First, you meditate on the neutral person. Second, you meditate on your friends. Third, you meditate on the enemy. You have a same, mind. If you have attachment, you have a same attachment to everybody. When you have a love, you have a love, same love towards everybody. Then, when you have a impartiality minds, then you can have a affection for all living beings. So next, we study about having affection for all living beings, cultivating the recognition that all beings as your mother. Those are quite easy, so everybody read page number until. How many pages you can read? Huh? Okay. From the page number, let's say 38. To, let's say, 43. Only 4 pages.
看完，然后直到科班的丑恶，正发慈心。所以回去要把这段念完，念到正发慈心。
And also, please remember the page number 31, the last paragraph, page number 31. In general, if you repeatedly consider the suffering of living beings, you of course develop a simple desire to free them from suffering. However, to develop these altitudes easily, strongly, firmly, you must first cherish this being and have affection for them. For with your enemies suffering and you are different to the suffering on a person. So this program you must remember, because most time when people try to cultivate with each other, suddenly you just try to remember suffering. They just wish them free from suffering. Is it good? The most important one, you must cherish this being and have a affection. That then you have a very strong and very firm and easy way you can generate the compassion. Okay, so we can stop here the Lamrim class. So again, please everybody, so whenever you have free time, please read, 1 or 2 pages, read and practice. And you should not think, oh, this is my study time, that is my practice time. You should not make a separate study and practice time. When you study, what you need to do? You must practice. When you practice, you must study. Therefore, listening, contemplating, then meditation must be together. Okay? Because, so look like we have 2 classes. One is the revision, one is a new class. For example, when we finish the topic about bodhicitta, before we start the practice of generosity. So after we finish class about bodhicitta, look like you almost have a bodhicitta. Right, bodhicitta. Right now what we're talking about 7 cause and effect. Within the 7 cause and effect, we're talking about great compassion, equanimity, great compassion and impartiality. So next few days when you read these pages, practice great compassion, impartiality, then almost you don't have a really sense of hostility towards your enemy. You do not have a sense of attachment towards your enemy. So you have to, get the progress, with your study. Okay? So please, practice as much as you can. Otherwise, if you only study, there's no point. Okay, so we do the dedication prayers.